Fucking life was full of trauma, now I feel amazing. Shawty was my vice, I had to quit, can't get addicted, baby. Looking for a wife, I know that they say it take time. I'm no longer waiting, gotta live and get the inspiration. Life is what you make it, that's not true, but now it's what I'm making. Pass the blunt to Satan, they say why, it's cause I'm feeling flagrant. Talking to the reaper like my nigga, don't take my soul. Think he understand me, so I'm living, least until I'm 80.
Hello, my name is Jack, and today I'm interviewing the fantastic upcoming artist Gaia.
Hey guys, I'm Gaia Basquiat, 20 years old from Detroit, Michigan.
I first found Gaia through YouTube and his song Snakeskin. I was genuinely blown away by your excellent production and your off-kilter, layered, and just dynamic flow. I'm a huge fan of your work, and I absolutely loved your new album, The Stress Behind the Smile. And, I'm really proud of you for getting that out. I've been looking forward to it. Is there music inside or outside of Detroit that inspires you to create?
Yeah, actually, I take a lot of inspiration from my city and like lyrical content. My city is like trap music, it's like drill, it's up rowdy, upbeat. And so a lot of the violent themes come from there. Like I'll have like gun references or just like some of my songs just have my tribute.
You frequently talk about the importance of spiritual growth through like love, coding, and meditation. How has your spiritual journey changed over time?
That, oh man, that's a good question. So when I first started making the Anawel albums, there's the latest one I released was Anawel 3, which was Slasher, and that was a love album. And that album was like, that's the peak. Well, actually, Anawel 4 recorded and ready to release whenever I, set it up. But like my spiritual journey has been progressing with like each album that I make, which is why I dropped into the music just where my spiritual growth is. But like right now, I'm at a very blissful point where everything is just about teaching and furthering my growth and helping everybody else. I'm I'm at the point of my spirituality where I'm starting to care about other people's spirituality. And so I want other people to have these beautiful experiences with me.
Yeah, that's I think a really beautiful goal. So how did you feel about your releasing your fifth project, like off of that sort of sense of just bliss and that desire to teach?
I think the energy of it was very different. Like a lot of my music has been teaching through just living experiences, but I never really releasing it, having it be like that. Like this is the energy that I'm stepping into. It was a very different, I have a very different perspective. It's very interesting.
That's
It
good.
feels more mature.
Yeah. Did you feel kind of nervous or a bit more confident based off of that?
No, definitely nervous. Like a lot of things about my music, I always be afraid. I'm like, people aren't gonna like it because it's not catchy or it's not like cool. It's not like what's normal. It's not like what's coming out right now. And so with it's super personal. So I was so scared but excited at the same time because I think it's great. But like I just hope that everybody else does too. But like after releasing it and seeing the response, like I'm very excited. Like people are really loving the Stress Behind the Smile right now.
Yeah, that's why I think you're definitely one of, the most inspiring upcoming artists I've seen. Like especially as someone who's out of Detroit and is, able to now sort of reach a larger audience. Where does your mind go when you're in front of an audience or you're sort of performing in front of like friends
Um,
or fans?
So I haven't really done too many performances yet. It's crazy. Like COVID really gave me a lot of time to perform in a whole bunch of places yet. Cause I
Mhm.
started really growing musically through COVID. This is that I have done. I love connecting with people. It's like my favorite place to be is to be on the stage because like that's the place where I'm not nervous at all because I just love connecting. And like I know my energy, it just it's very good with new people. And so outperforming, it's the best.
That's beautiful. Do you feel COVID influenced a bit of your writing process or sort of how like personal the album is?
Um, Honestly, it's interesting the relationship that COVID has had with my music. I have a MacBook now, and that enhanced my musical quality. And I got this with the stimulus check. And then, like, before COVID, I was struggling and I was like moving from place to place, couch to couch. Then, when COVID hit, like, my city started staying with them and working. And so, like, COVID has been like secretly so helpful because it's like without COVID, I wouldn't have been able to grow as much as I have been. Like, COVID has just made so many opportunities.
I think that's really important. And I can respect a lot that you've been able to find, an element of beauty and an element of bliss, like through,
Yeah.
a time that's pretty challenging. So I noticed that one of the most interesting songs I think featured on your new album is I'm Dying Inside, especially sort of your reflection on your relationship with your mother. And you mentioned that the relationship feels as though it's based around finance and you sort of, felt neglected. What does that song, I guess, mean to you personally?
Okay, so it's important to note that to me, these songs are old because, like, right now, I'm working on albums that I'm going to release in like 2 years. So I also want to put out is that I love my mom now, and like me and my mom's relationship is great and is amazing. I live with my mom now, and that's been great. Relationship has been very up and down, and I'm Dying Inside was like, it was a journey. She has a company that she's been working on, and a lot of our earlier interactions seemed like they were just based on her wanting me to work for her company. And before, like, I felt like we didn't have enough emotional resolve for like a lot of the problems that we had surrounding my childhood. And so that song was really a testament to that. But the beautiful thing is that I actually, before it released, I played the whole album for her, and we just sat and listened to it, and she just listened to everything that I had to say, and that was very healing.
Off of that, what does your sort of relationships and I guess mental health kind of influence you?
So, okay, I write. The only thing that I write is life. I don't know how to write anything else that isn't shape or form a reflection of my thoughts. And my relationships and my mental health coincide with each other because for a lot of my life, I felt like I was chasing what I wanted my mom to give me. I was chasing a certain type of love that you can't get from a relationship. I was chasing a love that you get from a parental guidance relationship. And I was chasing that love through regular relationships. So was so down and so depressed because I'm looking for love in all these places that I should be able to find it, but I can't because I'm looking for the wrong type of love. So that really influenced a lot of the sound because I was just distraught. In these new albums that you guys are going to hear in the future, like, the mindset changes, and so the music feels different. So the music is going to change. You feel more happy, you feel more hopeful.
That's a really beautiful vision. I noticed that, sense of sound, like as though this I could sense, is a special record to you. And I think one that, does reflect that mind state of just having, this outpouring of emotion where I think, it feels like you're in a better place. Your music progresses, your mental state progresses,
Yeah.
and your relationships evolve. So I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah.
There anyone who you'd like to take an opportunity to shout out or people that you really appreciate right now?
So I want to shout out my best friend. His name is Alex. You can follow him on Instagram at LILAIEXX. He is my main like support system through all the ups and downs that my music career has seen. He has also seen them and like been there to help me and support me through them. And then like shout out to my mom because like none of this would be possible without her. And like the new music sounds so great because of her, and it's just like a relationship with her is really, it really helps. And shout out to you. I want to shout out you for doing this because this is you asked some good questions, and this is a good interview.
I really appreciate your taking the time to come. Looking ahead to the future as well, is there any content that you'd sort of like, I guess, mention for the future?
So okay, a lot of good stuff is happening right now. I've started the path of being a spiritual advisor on TikTok, and my TikTok is growing insane. And so I have a lot of content for that I'm very excited that I'm going to integrate into my music, into my life, into my whole brand of just very spiritual. I'm stepping into a very spiritual lane of life. Essentially, I feel like what I've done is I dropped out of high school. I started working on my music career. As soon as I dropped out, I just worked and built up my music career. And like right before I turned 21, I'm about to step into this greatness that I for myself. And I just want to be able to show people that that's possible, that everybody else can do that. And so that's what I'm doing with my TikTok and with the growth and with the brand that I get, with all of the fans, the supporters, the family that, support my music. I'm going to be doing a lot of great things for this community that I'm starting. And so it's starting with the TikTok. I'm going to sell crystals, herbs, and spiritual supplies. And then I'm also going to open up a spiritual clothing line where all of the clothes are blessed with spiritual intentions to help you through life.
That sounds very cool. I'm very excited for the clothing brand. So when do you anticipate your next projects releasing?
The Stress Behind the Smile just came out. I think I'm gonna I want to let it breathe for like 3 months. I'm gonna just promote it, do some content for it. I got some shirts that I want to do and maybe do like a physical release set. So like some vinyls or some cassette. Probably give myself like 3 months on that, and then I'll drop the next album.
I was also wondering, I like the cover art on the album quite a lot. The different versions. Where is it from?
That was I just dropped the album yesterday. And then so probably 3 weeks ago, I had just got out of the mental ward. I was in the psych hospital, health problems, and I had just got out, and my friend was driving me home, and we had stopped at a rest stop, and I sat on top of the table and in like a meditation pose. And I was like, bro, take this picture, just take it. And then he took the picture, and then I came home because like I had just got out of the mental ward. And so like I was stressed, but I was happy because I knew all of the great stuff that I was about to do. And so yeah, that was really the last piece. I like that cover art a lot.
That's great. Yeah, I think part of what I liked about the cover art and the overall sound is that it so well fits together. Like you mentioned, that stress behind the smile.
Yeah.
It really feels like the sound on it is so intended to mesh with, that theme of life you mentioned. So I very much respect your being willing to get, more personal and I guess really reflective to a certain extent throughout the project. I appreciate your time here. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Man, I appreciate your time.
For sure. I'd be glad to do more interviews in the future, or, if there's anything you'd like to promote or share with, I guess a wider audience, this is always, a welcome opportunity for you.
But for the future, man.
For sure. Thank you.